Not into personality tests? Don't worry, stay tuned, because at the very least you'll be getting 16 unique trip ideas, and I'm willing to bet that at least one of them is going to resonate with you. Planning a vacation is a huge investment of both time and money. It can get overwhelming when you have all of these places that you want to go, but only a little bit of time off. In today's video, I'll be sharing getaway ideas based on every personality type, including yours, from the very popular personality test, Myers-Briggs. I have a link in the description where you can take the test for free in under 10 minutes. It's entertaining and pretty insightful to see which type you identify with. There are no right or wrong answers, and no one type is better than the other. It just means you have different strengths, different weaknesses, career preferences, and travel styles, which we'll get into now. INTJs, listen up, we are starting with you. Psst, you don't need to know that INTJ stands for introverted, intuitive, thinking, and judging, because I will give each type a less cryptic name and then overly simplify you with just a few traits. So for INTJ, you guys are also known as the strategist, the architect, or my personal favorite, the mastermind. You're an intelligent, analytical, and curious problem solver with an idea for everything. Check out Singapore. You hate feeling unproductive, you love efficiency, you love optimization, and Singapore is one of the most innovative, forward-thinking countries in the world. A self-guided tour of Singapore would be right up your alley. ISFP, the adventurer. You are very open-minded, you go with the flow, you probably already love travel because you're so adaptable. Very spontaneous, artistic, and an out-of-the-box thinker, often surprising those around you because you're quite spontaneous. To keep with this spontaneous nature and your love of beauty and the ability to be able to wander around without being caged in, I recommend you do the iconic motorbike trip either north to south or south to north in Vietnam. This way you can go from destination to destination, stopping as you feel, staying as long or as little as you want in each place, enjoying all the natural beauty around you, and seeing a lot. INFP, the mediator or the healer. You're creative, you're kind-hearted, you see the possibility of a greater future in anything, and you're always working towards improving the world. You're not judgmental, you're an incredible friend, and you're deeply motivated by personal growth in yourself and in those around you. Consider Myanmar. I think you would do so well with the super friendly locals, and the experiences that you can have in Myanmar are absolutely magical, and you will hold on to them forever. I would say start in Bagan, where you can see the sunrise and the sunset with all of the hot air balloons, and then also consider joining a small group trek where you're guided by a local through the mountains. Again, the people are so friendly, and you're probably so friendly. You're all just gonna get along. INFJ, the advocate or the counselor. You're a creative idealist and a master at coming up with original solutions. The problem is that you can be so passionate and so excited about your ideas that you'll turn any vacation into a project if left up to your own devices. I know you. I am you. So, in order to really avoid burnout, I recommend you take time for yourself with a solo trip where you can get away and just completely disconnect. I'm not saying go lie on a beach for 2 weeks. You would probably get antsy. Think the Canadian Rockies, or even something more exotic like Machu Picchu in Peru. Somewhere where you can spend the day exploring, thinking, and then not feeling pressure at the end of the night to be partying until 2 a.m. You may even want to consider doing a homestay where you can connect authentically with the locals, get to know people, be in that small group as opposed to a big group tour. ISTJ, the logistician or the inspector. You're patient, practical, and responsible. You like order and systems around you. A solo trip where you can learn a lot and feel comfortable doing it on your own would be a great fit. I highly recommend a Euro trip, but one where you're traveling by yourself, learning and exploring on your own. Another option would be potentially Japan. I think you would like Japan for the cleanliness, the order, the systems that are in place there. ISTP, the virtuoso or the craftsman. You like to experiment, but you're also very bold and practical. You're hands-on and you can troubleshoot just about anything. You move quickly and you want a variety of new experiences, and you can adapt well to changing situations. I'm really excited about this one. Dominican Republic Treehouse Adventure. It's exactly as it sounds. You go to the Dominican Republic to a treehouse village where you can stay in the treehouse, handmade, but then also have all of these crazy experiences around you, from visiting waterfalls to going to the beach to exploring the jungle to ziplining. It's a little bit of everything in a really cool, unique location. INTP, the logician or the architect. You are very, very smart, and you have a talent to seek out knowledge and then be able to take all that information and put it into new, creative, innovative ideas. You're very calm on the outside, but a total thinker on the inside, and probably the most likely person to come up with our next great scientific discovery. While I've been traveling around the world, generally the people that I meet that are attractive to new ways of working, this digital nomad lifestyle, where they'll go and live somewhere long term and find these creative ways to make money, make an income online, and live differently from the way that we traditionally live and work. I think you would enjoy this, and immersing yourself in a digital nomad location would be a great trip idea. Think Chiang Mai in Thailand, Medellin in Colombia, or even Bansko in Bulgaria. ISFJ, the defender or the protector. You're kind-hearted, you're warm, reliable, and loyal. You're an amazing friend, and you always are doing good for others, but in a very humble, unassuming way where you're not calling attention to all the good things that you do. You have amazing people skills, but you're also very analytical, so you probably give the best birthday presents because you're so imaginative and you really get the people around you. You like to be needed and appreciated and always doing more for others, so I would say pick somewhere with a very friendly reputation and consider doing something like house sitting. Think Ireland, Scotland, Canada, or even somewhere more exotic like Costa Rica, which has a reputation for some of the friendliest people in the world. ENTJ, the commander or the CEO. You are the type that I always wanted to be, because you can come up with these amazing strategic ideas and then you actually execute on them. You also can get other people around you to enthusiastically execute on your ideas. You're a strategic leader, and you'll find a way to make things happen, or you'll make a way. Personal growth is your jam, and you love to push boundaries. So I challenge you to challenge yourself with something like climbing Mount Everest, just a base camp, or even Kilimanjaro. I would say go there with AG Adventures or sign up with a local tour group when you arrive, because you will get a kick out of doing it with a small group of people where you're pushing yourself and also pushing the people around you. ENFJ, the protagonist or the teacher. Like ENTJs, you know how to make things happen and you can come up with these great ideas. You're ambitious, passionate, usually about improving the world around you. You're probably taking way too much on your plate, but you're also pretty energetic about all of it. You're not self-serving, and you have a knack for making the people around you better. You love to learn, and you love to help those around you learn as well. Go to a specific destination that is known for something, like a coast in Costa Rica where you can just surf for 3 weeks. As you get better at it, you'll teach those around you, and you'll get a lot of satisfaction from growing yourself and growing others. Other options would be kite surfing in Cabarete, Dominican Republic, yoga certification in Ubud, PADI scuba diving in Koh Tao, Thailand, snowboarding in Colorado, or even something like learning Spanish in Nicaragua. The options are endless. Think of something you've always wanted to do or always wanted to learn, and go to a specific place and do that thing. ESTJ, the executive or the supervisor. You are a master at organizing both people and things. You have an ability to get things done in a very logical, thought out, systematic way. You're traditional, hardworking, factual, grounded in reality, and really, really good at setting goals for both yourself and others. You're also very good at achieving these goals. Congratulations. You will dive nose first into planning. You're very good at it, but the problem is that you may get so preoccupied with all the details, organizing everything, that you forget to actually enjoy the vacation, and it becomes more stressful than it needs to be. My recommendation for you is to not plan the trip. Instead, book a tour, but go somewhere that you know very, very little about. So you're not sitting there thinking, everyone knows there's traffic on this road at this time, what are they doing? I recommend you check out Bhutan. Not many people know a lot about Bhutan, and to travel there, you need to work with a Bhutanese travel agent, and you'll pay $200 to $250 a day, which is going to include all of your transportation, your food, your accommodations, your visa, your guide. You need to work out an agreed upon itinerary before you arrive in the country. So it's going to be laid out for you what you'll be doing, and you'll have say in that process. But then when you're actually in Bhutan, you can just enjoy it for the beauty, how remote it is, going from place to place, but not having to take care of all the little details on how you get there or exactly where you'll be staying. ESTP, the entrepreneur, or the dynamo. You're energetic, smart, you're able to adapt to any situation, and you always come up with the most innovative and practical solutions. You're a thrill seeker at heart, probably athletically inclined, and always up for an adventure. Consider a classic backpacking trip around Southeast Asia. Southeast Asia is so easy to travel around, and you can see so much and do so much in such a little amount of time. You can book your flight 2 hours before the flight takes off and be in a whole nother country. There's wild nightlife, all these different foods to try, lots of adventurous outdoorsy activities to keep you excited. The beautiful thing about Southeast Asia is you can wake up in the morning, decide what you feel like doing, and then make it happen. You don't need to plan everything out in advance. ENFP, the campaigner or the champion. You're energetic, free-spirited. You see a million different options for any given situation. You're a free spirit, charming, and fiercely independent. But you get bored with all the little details and you want to have a real authentic experience, but you don't necessarily want to plan it all out to make it happen. You're craving excitement, inspiration. You want to do it with other people too, and you absolutely want to take in everything around you without getting bogged down by all the little details of planning. Go gorilla trekking in Uganda. You do this with a small group, and going straight into the jungle to be around the gorillas is an absolutely life-changing experience. You'll love to tell the story about it later, and you'll completely connect authentically with the locals that are taking you there and the people around you. ESFJ, the counselor or the provider. You're popular, always eager to help, the best of friends, and extraordinarily caring. You know right from wrong and will stick to your guns. Those around you know that they can count on you for pretty much anything. I have two options for you. The first one seems like a more natural fit, which would be to do a mission trip in a location that you have always wanted to go to. Say building schools in Nicaragua or teaching English at a school in Philippines. The second is completely different. You are always looking after other people and you enjoy doing it and you're very good at it. But you also need to look after yourself. Consider a yoga retreat in Bali or a spa getaway in Iceland. Get a few friends together and go somewhere where you can enjoy the experience, indulge, and pamper yourself while being together and enjoying it with each other. ESFP, the entertainer, the performer. Now you are a ton of fun to be around and you can make fun out of any situation. People love being in your presence because you're the one that in a long, boring car ride is going to initiate the game of werewolf. You need a trip that's going to satisfy your enjoyment of being around others, that doesn't involve too much routine activity, and you also don't want to be doing a ton of planning with your nose in a book or at a laptop prior to the trip. One option you may enjoy would be going on a cruise. This way you're around other people and there's always different activities going on to keep you entertained. If a cruise seems too closed in for you and you want something more adventurous, consider a fast-paced destination with adventure, with nightlife, food, culture. You are going to soak all of it up, and I really recommend you do it either with a group tour or with some friends because you're going to enjoy just being around other people and sharing the experiences with them. ENTP, the debater or the visionary. You are a smart, curious thinker. You're full of unconventional ideas. Very open-minded and always up for a good debate, even if it's just for the sake of debating. Consider getting your friends together and going on a road trip. And while you're totally capable of keeping everyone entertained on a long car ride, you might get impatient because there's so many things that you want to do, you don't want to be trapped in the car. Go to a destination where you can see and do a lot without having to cover too much distance. Ones that come to mind would be New Zealand's North Island, or if you're looking for something that's even a little bit more adventurous, I would recommend replicating a trip that I took last March in Sri Lanka, where a friend and I rented a tuk-tuk and self-drove around the country. You can be in the mountains and then 2 hours later on the beach, and then doing a safari, and then seeing the city of Colombo. It's a lot of things packed into very small little driving distances, and a total adventure. I think you would love it. Regardless of where you decide to road trip, I really suggest you follow a predetermined itinerary so you're not just overwhelmed by all the options out there and then you don't have to plan all the details yourself. According to Myers-Briggs, I am an INFJ, and my favorite trip to date was probably gorilla trekking in Uganda on a research project. I was able to learn and experience something so magical with a small group of people, but I also didn't know enough about Uganda to become a perfectionist and try to control the situation. If you don't know your type, I highly encourage you to check out the link in the description below, take your free test, and then let everyone know in the comments what type you are and what your ideal vacation would be. If you're looking for some more recommendations on places for long-term travel, check out this video here. And if you're looking for that itinerary for the 3-week tuk-tuk adventure around Sri Lanka, check out this one right here. Next week, I'll be covering 20 things that you must do before international travel, regardless of where you're going, so feel free to hit my face over here and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, see you next week, and I wish you all the best. Bye!